Buenos dias, RGT85 here. Hope everyone is having a great day. Hope everyone had a great weekend. I had a great weekend of watching basketball. Go to hell, Brooklyn. Go to hell, Atlanta. However, you're not here to hear about me bitch about NBA stuff. You're here to hear about the latest in video game news. Couple stories going on that I want to cover. First time on the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy the content, be sure to like, comment, and share the video around. But without any further ado, let's talk about what's going on in the world of video games. And we're going to start things off with Gran Turismo 7 because I definitely am developing a love-hate relationship with this game. I am a huge Gran Turismo fan. Gran Turismo 7 definitely disappointed me on day one. There was major problems with the game. Sony themselves were tinkering with the game to make it less accessible as far as being able to earn money and stuff. You couldn't sell cars, and I was very upset by this. I made a video on it. It seemed like a lot of people enjoyed it, but as time has gone on, it has gotten incrementally better. They have fixed some things such as the payouts on races. They've made it so that you can still cheese a few things in the game, and they of course said that they're going to be adding in major content such as the ability to sell cars, which was a major problem because as of right now you cannot sell cars in the game. Well, the first update came out, and I mean, it kind of exists. The actual interesting thing about the update is the stuff that you can't see. But as far as new content is concerned, there's a couple new cars in the game. There's another BRZ. There's like 2 BRZs now that were added into the game. I mean, they're kind of cool cars. There's another Suzuki in there, you know, the classic little, I don't even know, cappuccino looking thing. They fixed, well, they added in the ability on one of the courses to have like a different pit. I guess that's kind of cool. And like, that was pretty much it. That was pretty much it. So people were like, what the hell is this? Like, you promising all this stuff and then you do this little stinky, puny update. Well, they did some things with the physics of the game that actually make it a little bit better for rear-wheel drive cars. So I think that's going to be interesting. I haven't had a chance to boot up the update myself yet and check it out fully, but I think that's a cool thing. You know, that's something that's good that they can always tinker with, are the physics of the game. And you know, that's pretty much it in the update. Now, one thing I was very concerned about was the Tomahawk glitch. If you're unfamiliar with the game, basically the Tomahawk is like the fastest car in the game, and you could tweak the settings to be on races that you probably shouldn't be on, but it allows you to enter these races and thus do them in a very quick manner, dominate the competition, and earn stupid amounts of money. They actually changed it and made the glitch inaccessible as it was, but somebody has already found a way to sort of circumvent that, so you still can use the Tomahawk glitch, which is great because sometimes you just want some easy money. Sometimes you just want to cheese the game a little bit, and there's nothing wrong with cheesing the game. We have been cheesing Gran Turismo games since the dawn of time. So it's a step, a small step, almost like a sidestep in the right direction, I guess, with this. I want to see more, though. I want to see more cars. I want to see more tracks. They did add some new events in, so that's pretty cool. You can earn your money and stuff like that. But I want to see more, and I feel like we are going to see more in the summertime. I actually did something very stupid last night. I've been teasing it, but I feel like, you know, beyond this game, there's other games I can play with it. I bought a cockpit and I bought a wheel. Now it was some of the cheaper end stuff. I think I paid like $500 for everything. It'll be here this week, and since it is something that I can talk about on the channel to write off on my taxes, I will be making a video on this because, you know, maybe you guys are interested in racing simulations and racing games in general, so I will be bringing you guys that information. But yeah, the GT7 update, definitely a little bit disappointing, so hopefully the next one is better because I want to continue to play this game. Next up, the PlayStation Plus extended tiers have sort of been causing a bit of drama online. Some people are like, well, it sucks compared to Game Pass, but I'm kind of like, it's not supposed to be Game Pass. It's more about just expanding PlayStation stuff with the online stuff. You know, obviously Nintendo isn't trying to mimic what Game Pass is doing, so why would Sony do that? Obviously Game Pass, there's a reason why it exists, and it's such a great value because that's what Xbox is focused on. They're focused on getting people to play their games across various platforms, whereas companies like PlayStation and companies like Nintendo still rely on first-party game sales because they sell really well and they make the companies a lot of money. Well, one of the things that I was very interested in was the retro side of things, because it looks like there's going to be a tier that has various retro consoles on it from the PlayStation lineage, and what these games are going to be, because I think some of these games are definitely still worth playing today. Well, over the weekend it was discovered that some new games are rated for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, old games that obviously are going to be included in this service, and the games in question are some Siphon Filter games. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Siphon Filter, I really enjoyed these games. You know, the first one was wonky because the guy ran like he was wearing an adult diaper, Gabe Logan. He ran like he was wearing an adult diaper that was full, and so it looked really goofy. But like beyond that, like the subsequent Siphon Filter games were amazing. It was kind of that time frame where everyone was trying to make their own Metal Gear Solid, and I thought Siphon Filter was a really good game. So 4 Siphon Filter games have gotten a rating on the Koreans ratings board, which by now you should trust the Koreans rating board. If it pops up on there, it is probably coming to fruition. The games in question are Siphon Filter 1, Siphon Filter 2, Siphon Filter Dark Mirror, and Siphon Filter Logan Shadow. Now, Siphon Filter 1 and 2 were PS1 games, and Dark Mirror and Logan Shadow were PlayStation 2/PSP games. So I think this is interesting. First and foremost, I have to ask, where is Siphon Filter 3? That was my favorite Siphon Filter. Like, I thought that was like the peak of the PlayStation 1 Siphon Filter games. Obviously, it was the last one released, but why the hell is this not included? Like, you need to include this. But I do think this is cool because Siphon Filter is a franchise that if you're a younger gamer, you don't know what the hell it is. You don't know what it is, but it was a very popular franchise in the 90s and the early 2000s. It definitely had its place in gaming, and people really looked forward to these titles. So that's what I'm looking forward to with this service, is sort of, you know, reintroducing franchises that Sony has forgotten, because there's a ton of them. Siphon Filter, Resistance, Twisted Metal. These are all franchises that people have an affinity for. Sly Cooper, like, these games aren't coming out anytime soon with new versions of them. You know, there's a whole Twisted Metal sort of rumor going on around there, but I feel like this is a good way to gauge if these games are still going to be relevant in the current age. And this is a good way to do it because you're not putting a lot of time and effort into it. You're just sort of uploading these games onto the server, and you can sort of see, you know, are people playing these games? Is there a renewed interest in Siphon Filter? Because when you think about it, Siphon Filter is the perfect game for the PlayStation 5 to be revived, because they're all about these single player experiences now. They're all about these deep narrative single player experiences, and there's nothing that's sort of set within that realm that would, you know, sort of, you know, check that box off. And that's the crazy thing to me, because you could do so much with a Siphon Filter game, this tactical espionage game set in a real world setting, instead of things that are, you know, fantasy based like God of War and Horizon. So I don't know. I want to see Siphon Filter come back. I think Gabe Logan is a very cool character, and hopefully this is an indication of what sort of games we're going to see on the service. I'm sure as time goes on, we'll learn more about them, but hey, I'm curious about these. I'm kind of excited about these. So let me know what you think of them in the comment section down below. And finally, there's a controversy about a leaked Nintendo Switch game that kind of wasn't leaked yet. We've actually alluded to it on the channel before, but now people are worried about the controversy. Some people are finding out about what the game is, and then they're kind of worried about that again and complaining about it. And I can kind of understand why, but I kind of want to catch you guys up to speed because there have been some videos talking about it, some people talking about it, and I kind of want to let you guys know what's actually going on with this. So the source of this new information comes to us from Imran Khan. I hope I'm saying your name right. If I'm not, I apologize. I'm just a stupid person. But Imran Khan is an industry person. I believe he worked with Game Informer beforehand. Now he works over at Fanbyte, and he basically teased a game that's potentially coming in August for the Nintendo Switch that's going to cause a lot of controversy, a controversial title for the Switch system. So people are running all over the place with this. They're like, well, why is it controversial? Is it controversial because of content? Is it controversial because of what it is? What is the situation with this? Now, of course, you got to take these things with a grain of salt. You know, Nintendo obviously changes things on the fly. You saw it with Xenoblade Chronicles 3. How long has that game been complete and sitting in their back pocket if they're just kind of like, hey, you know what? Go ahead and bump up the release of that game 2 months. You know, Nintendo does things like that. They sit on games for quite a while, and it's well documented. Like the Pikmin 3 version on the Switch was another game that had been completed forever, and then they just finally said, you know what, okay, let's go ahead and release this game. But what is the controversial game? That's what the streets want to know. That's what everyone's buzzing about. We kind of already know about it, and it's something that we talked about in a previous video, and I'm pretty sure I was like, nobody wants this, nobody cares about this, and you know, I'm guessing that's why it's being deemed a controversial title. What is the game in question? Drum roll, please. A sequel to 1-2 Switch. Is that controversial? Maybe, you know, maybe
Hey everybody, I have an unboxing video today and it is the Superboy S.
Hey guys, Radical Reggie here, and we're here to talk about something I got in the mail, the Superboy SFC. Excuse me. This is the Famicom version of the system, and oh, sorry about that glare there. This one, I like this one a lot, well, design-wise, because it kind of represents the Super Famicom system with the different color buttons. The Super Nintendo in America got kind of like some generic colors, but you know, this is to me is the way the Super Nintendo should have looked. But anyways. This device is a portable Super Nintendo. For you Nintendo fans out there, this is something you could pretty much take mobile around the neighborhood or wherever you want to go. It's a rechargeable battery, has a headphone jack on it. It also can play PAL and NTSC games as well. If you can see that right here, the PAL switch right here. Sorry if it's not too close, but yeah, and also, of course, you could use this as a base system. So when I say base, you can use it to play on your television set. So you can plug controllers in here on each side and play it like a base system. But by doing so, you have to be very careful with it because you don't want to jerk the system too much or the games might reset, just like with a regular Nintendo. Do I think this device is worth owning? I would say yeah, because, and this is why I'm saying yes too, because I don't even own a Super Nintendo, but I have Super Nintendo games. You guys might laugh at me because of that, but yeah, I don't own a Super Nintendo, so I have a lot of clone consoles. And but to see this, you know, if I had a Super Nintendo, even so, if I did have one, I would probably still like this though, to be honest with you. But being able to being portable and put it in your pocket and all that stuff, I just don't know about that. You know, this thing is pretty big, so the only way I can see it going in your pocket is if you have a raincoat, you know, a big raincoat with pockets on it, then you could like put it in there and then take it on the go. It'll be fine. But I played it for a while. I played it around town, testing it out, and it's really fun. It's perfect to test games out on too. When you're going to buy games certain places, you have this with you. You can test games out. That's awesome because now we're in the age where, you know, you have to be careful what you buy because the boards might be switched or something might be wrong with it. So test before you buy is very good for that. This thing came somewhat charged and the battery hasn't run out yet. I don't know how long it usually lasts, but I'm thinking of probably around 5 to 8 hours. Just a wild guess on there. I haven't tested it all the way out yet, but the system came pretty charged and I haven't charged it yet, so it's good on that. And also I just noticed on here it has a 4x3 16:9 brightness, and widescreen. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, man, the system is on point. One of the big sellers for this item is going to be the fact that it looks like the old system. You know, basically, you just get that old familiar feeling of it looking like a Super Nintendo or a Super Famicom system. That's the big attraction of this system to me from other devices like this. There's another device like this, but this one just really stands out because it just reminds you of the Super Nintendo. If you're a Super Nintendo guy or Super Famicom person, this is going to really like, whoa, this is going to catch your eye. The controls feel really good. I've actually, this is the upgrade version of a previous model they had, and that one had the controls were kind of like meh on that one, but these ones just seem to be improved. I mean, I've actually played some fighting games on it, and you know, fighting games need precise controls, and other games too, like platform.
The
Hello?
Hello everyone, it's Jordan here, back again with this week's episode and all the physical releases coming to the Switch. We're in the 4th week